My channel. Today we are working on Programming Challenge 9 in Chapter 10 in the book Starting Out with Java. And this programming challenge is to modify a programming challenge that we worked on in this chapter. The programming challenge that we have to modify is called TestScore. And they said, according to the description, they said we have to make it serializable. We have to serialize the test score class, and we have to deserialize the test score class. So in order to do that, we have to implement the interface serializable for this class test score, and you have to go back to the challenge 9 package, and we will create in this package a class called serialize test scores. And in this class I created this sample data. According to the description, they said we have to create 5 different students' test scores. So I created their data for each student. I created a 2-dimensional array that has 5 students' test scores, and each student would have 5 test scores. Then we will create a main method, and then we will create a try catch statement, exception, get a message. And first we have to create the test score array. We will say test scores equal test scores. There will be 5 of them, and then we will go through all the data in this 2-dimensional array and store it in this test scores array. So we'll say less than student you're gonna say static here, and we're gonna say student test scores that length, and we're gonna store the data to the test scores. We'll say test scores of I equal new test scores student test scores of I. So each student would have their set of test scores. The first student would have this test scores, the second student would have this, and so forth. After we create this array, we have to serialize them. And in order to do that, we have to create a string called file path that will store the file path where we want to store the file. There is the serialized file. So we're gonna say slash test scores dat for the file path, and then we're gonna say object output stream obj new object output stream new file output stream, and this takes a file path here. And after that we have to create a for loop and we'll say int I 0 I less than, and we have to go through this test scores array. Then what we're gonna say is test scores of I equal, we have to cast each student to the test score class, and then we're gonna say obj write, no, I'm confusing with something else. You don't need to cast anything. All you have to do is obj write object, and what you're gonna say is test scores of I. That would be it for this for loop. Then we're gonna close the object, and then we're gonna say we write the test, what do we call test, here we're gonna say we wrote test score dat file. I think we are done for this class. Let me run the program and see. You should see a file here. As you can see, here is the serialized test scores in this file, and here's the message. So we created the serialized class. Now we have to deserialize the class. So we're gonna copy the file path because we're gonna need it, and then we create a new class called deserialize test scores, and here I pasted the file path. I will say static, and then we're gonna use try catch any errors, then we're gonna say create test score array, new test score that has 5. Then we're gonna say for int I 0 I less than the scores, and you're gonna say test score of I equal, then before the for loop we have to create object input stream obj new object input stream, and we're gonna say file input stream, and we're gonna pass the file path, the file we want to read, and here inside the for loop we're gonna say obj read object. We read each object and set it to the array. After that we're gonna say obj close, then we're gonna go through each test score test TestScores, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna calculate each student's average score. We're gonna say average score. I'm gonna say test get average. Let's run the program and see. As you can see, here are the 5 different students and their average. The first student got 80, second 76, 70, 93, and 61. Let's add a little boolean here. I'm gonna say if a test get average is greater or equal to 70, then we're gonna say pass. That student pass. Otherwise, the student fail. Let's run it again for all students. I should have added a space here. As you can see, all of the students passed except the last one, which got 61. All of them passed because their average score was 70 and up. So I think that would be it for this programming challenge. They said we had to serialize the TestScores class, and we did in this class. We created a sample data for each student, and we created an array of students, and we set their test scores. We created a serialized objects, and we closed the object. And here we created another class. This is the TestScore. Here we created another class called deserialize TestScores. We created an array TestScores, and we opened the file, the serialized file, and we read each student's average score, and we close. Should close here, and that would be it for this programming challenge. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you find this helpful. If you find it helpful, please give this video a like, and subscribe for this channel if you want to see similar videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.